Hello everybody. Well, Resurrection Day and it's in the evening. I had every intention of doing this video a couple of days ago. I had lots of ideas for Easter, you can imagine. On Good Friday I did something to my hip and I cannot describe the pain. The hip joint, it's not arthritis, I pulled a nerve in it. I'd been to a doctor's on Thursday who was no help whatsoever, so I massaged him with arnica oil doing. So I've just been in too much pain to do anything, and I'm a bit cross because I wanted to do a video for Easter, but it seems that it wasn't meant to be, and I've had my own little Easter. I was on my own as I usually am, and Friday morning I thought, well, it's no good that the weekend is good here. I'm on my own again. I can't even go out to the trees and for a little drive out because I can't get in and out of my car. What am I going to do? I needed to go shopping because I was run out of stuff. I had basics, but not much. I've only got a small fridge and a small freezer. What can I do? I had absolutely nobody I could ring or contact to get me help. And of course the weekend was zooming, shops closing. I try not to get into a panic, but you can imagine, I mean, I can live on basics. But anyway, it occurred to me I could ring the local handyman. He's a very, very nice man. I've only met him recently. Very helpful, very kind. I thought, I find it hard to ask for help. I thought, dare I ring him and ask him to get me some bread and some milk? Well, you got to ask if you don't know what you get till you ask. And so I did ask. I rang him, and within half an hour he was at my front door, loaf of bread and a pint of milk. Well, litre of milk. And I gave him 10 quid. I said, "You saved my life," literally saved my life. He was very sweet about it. And it suddenly occurred to me, it was Good Friday, and there was this kind man at my door, which really, really helped me and rescued me. And the bread and the milk, in my mind, I tried to see spiritual essences in everything. Bread and the wine, it was a communion and a sharing with somebody. Not that he came in, he had his mask on and all the right stuff, but it was just symbolic that there was somebody who cared, that could help me, and it was a sharing, the communion. Great big loaf of bread and it was too much, but anyway, it's got me through. I've frozen half of it. So that was a Friday, and Good Fridays are always fun. I find them a bit depressing, well, for obvious reasons really, and I do find them a bit depressing. So I just watched a film called Castaway. You may have seen it, Tom Hanks. He's cast away on a desert island. And I love the story. I've seen it many, many times. And he loses his girlfriend and I better not tell you the end, had I? But for some reason, I felt terribly sad. I started crying. I thought, it was a lovely film, a good film. I couldn't relate to it in a personal way, although at some level I probably did, because I realised something left me, and it was a huge, great sense of loss of love. It may have been a past life, I don't know, but it was so powerful. I had to go and lie down. I still haven't really worked it out, but I think it was this sense of loss and isolation and, having lost somebody I really loved. So that was Friday, which I got through, recovered obviously. Saturday I felt a bit weird. I must admit I did feel a bit weird on Saturday, because it was like an in-between day. It's a day for reflection, I think, isn't it, And so, and I still couldn't go to the shops. So I was kind of reflecting and look. I don't know about looking back. We're not supposed to look back. When things come up, you have to look at them, don't you? And it wasn't actually happening on Saturday, but I went back to a time when the Master Jeshua took me. I don't know where he took me in. It was an inward journey. This huge pillar of light appeared in my mind, and I know it was him, and he took me on this journey inward. It was quite a journey. It wasn't just a 2-minute job. I suppose about 10 minutes, quarter of an hour. And I said to him, I feel afraid. I did feel afraid. He took no notice whatsoever, of course, because he knew what he was doing. I'm always amazed at the total trust and faith that these beings have in God, and of course they are God in manifestation. They are such high light beings, and they're so beautiful. And but it's still hard, isn't it, the human element, to trust it. So it was a struggle, but I knew that he'd taken me to the next level. It was few months ago, but it came to me yesterday because there's no such thing as time and space, as you know. So it was like a rewind, a rerun. That I was okay, I was safe, and I was being looked after, even though I was in incredible pain. I could hardly walk from here to the kitchen to get a cup of tea, and still no one, of course, to look after me. And I don't know who could I don't want to go to hospital. I can cope with it probably. So I was at this point, at this in between point of just thinking, well, I've still got another day to go. Shops might be open on Monday. So it was a question of trusting, really. I suppose just trusting that something would happen. And then, of course, it was Sunday today. And this is another memory, but it came to me today that I can call on memories because there's no such thing as time and space. And first of all, a man came to my door. The second young man, aren't I lucky? He said, "Is your car for sale?" Well, it's an old car and it isn't for sale, but I've just spent quite a lot of money on it. But we had a little chat. It was all very, very nice. And it was just like set me off, someone to talk to for the day, really. For me, it's someone to talk to. And then, oh, I've forgotten it again. I do this. I keep looking at these notes and I've forgotten it. It's important to get it right. Oh, yes. And the memory came. I thought, my dad used to always send me a chocolate egg, bless him, and he used to always arrive broken, of course. And I was just feeling chocolate-less, and a bit unhappy like I did at Christmas time. And I can remember, I don't know how many years ago it was, but the lady opposite, I hardly knew her actually, and she turned up at my front door with a huge, great Easter egg wrapped in gold paper foil, I was absolutely shocked. I hadn't bought her anything because I hardly knew her. But there she was with this huge golden egg. And that memory came to me. So I kind of been living on memories, but they've all been kind of helpful memories to get me through this very difficult time. And it has, because I'm still I'm still here, I'm still smiling. I've got the dress on that I wore to my daughter's wedding 10 years ago. I can just about get into it. I just thought I've got to do something about this video because I do like to get on the occasion, I know you won't get it till tomorrow probably. This thing takes about 10 hours to load up because it's HD, high definition. But anyway, so I've been, brought through the crisis by two very nice, helpful men. I've got a chap that wants to buy my car when it's out of his MOT in November, and there's lots of lovely spiritual messages as well, because that one with Joshua taking me down into because we do go in, and he was there taking me inward, and I think that was like amazing. I don't ask for these things, they come at me. So this is Sunday, which is the resurrection, and I do feel a bit brighter. I think I've gone through quite a difficult 2 days really. I must have released something quite powerful. Oh, and I had a little e-card from my daughter, just a happy Easter, So it's not been too bad really. I've got through it, and I always like to sort of pass on. I'm very observing. I always like to see messages in things. Well, I've just learned to do that recently. Little things that happen that remind us of something else, that we're not alone and we are looked after and rescued. I don't think I die of starvation in this lifetime, but I have been scrabbling a bit now, so I've got to decide to go online, find out how to shop online so they'll deliver it to me, because I do like going on the shops, because that way you get talking to somebody and you buy things you fancy and you spend more than you need. So I've got to decide whether to take on that challenge tomorrow, if I feel well enough. So I walk from here to there. I can't describe. I don't know what's happening. I think I pinched a nerve actually. So to massage your hip yourself takes a lot of energy, which I don't have. So I'm in between screaming. I thought, well, it's no good getting down on the floor. I won't be able to get up again. Anyway, so it's a short video today, dear ones. You'll be pleased. I was going to talk about so much more, because the very nice person that asked last time for me to do some, a bit more to the inner journeys. I thought, well, I have been one inner journey, and that was, well, the camera's gone peculiar. It does do that sometimes, doesn't it? It sort of starts to get out of sequence. Bit like me, really. So there we are. I watched a good film today. what was it called? Oh, Bill Nighy. About it was a political thriller. I love those. So I keep getting by between jumping up and getting a cup of tea and putting some heat pads on me. So I hope that's been okay. I don't think it's been very good actually, but I just wanted to do it because I know when I'm talking, the energy comes through. I know I get really down and put my own video on to cheer myself up. Talk about narcissistic. So anyway, I hope that's just filled the gap for now. I'll think of something else for next time. So, watch out for the... Oh yes, I was going to say about the different religions. I mean, Easter time, it depends what you believe, doesn't it? They played deer and say the whole thing was a hologram, never happened even. Now I don't know if I go as far as that, but that they believe that the whole situation was far different than what we remember it. So I suppose it depends what religion you follow, with whether you believe in Easter time. Oh yes, I was going to tell a funny story about the doctors. I went to a doctor. Well, I suppose you know what doctors are like. I don't think he even got up out of his seat to see what was wrong with me, so I could put you in touch with physiotherapy. You seem to get to be an old lady. No one really cares about you very much. Too much trouble. They got younger ones to think about. Anyway, so the doctor wasn't terribly interested, and I came away feeling very depressed about it all. I thought, it's not anybody that really cares. So. And then on Good Friday, I did wonder whether the surgery would be closed on Good Friday, because some places in the UK, some places are closed, some aren't. And so I rang them up in desperation for this hip. I thought, well, they can't do anything, but I just needed to talk to somebody, because I was a bit afraid, And the message at the end of the phone, the surgery is now closed. Da, da, da. I thought, well, that's cheerful. No, like, here's an alternative number, or we're sorry, or, da 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 da. I just thought that was terribly bleak, really, really bleak and unhelpful. And of course, it's just an excuse for a day off. And so I've written them a very strong letter, because I did have a bit of a do with one of the girls. A very strong letter. I said, I mentioned all this, and I said, where were you all on Friday? Had you all gone to the crucifixion? Because really, it's like all these feast days, isn't it? It's just an excuse for a day off. We're not practicing these rituals and belief systems. Some people are, obviously, and churches are all closed, of course. So it's take your pick time, really, isn't it? But I don't like things that are done for the wrong reason. One of my pet hates, and they weren't thinking of taking a day off to pray. They just wanted the time off, go and buy their Easter eggs. They didn't care about me and my pain. Anyway, I was rescued by two very nice young men. I do like the young men, I must admit. I've always had young men friends, because they're so... you can get on with them because there's no threat, you know what I mean? They accept you for who you are. And a lot of gay friends as well. I've had lots of gay friends, they're lovely. Anyway, I mustn't wrap it on. I'm sorry it's been so bitty, but here I am in all my glory, and I'm sending you lots of energy, so I hope you've got through your weekend fine, and tomorrow's another day. Okay, my dear ones, take care for now then. God bless.